State Senator Jeff Wilson, he's a Republican state senator in Washington. He represents the Longview area. Well, got arrested in Hong Kong. And usually I'm kind of like, I'm a very law and order person. So it's like, hey, you need to know the laws. If you're traveling abroad, you need to know the laws everywhere. But this sounds like it was just an honest mistake. This is the headline from the Hong Kong Free Press. I'm sure it's super free. U.S. Republican Senator Jeff Wilson arrested over carrying gun into Hong Kong, barred from leaving the city. So what's wild about this is, and look, sometimes I'm like, how could you forget that you have a gun on you? And look, I just don't know how you could forget you have a gun on you. I don't know the circumstances of his traveling, but he realizes mid-flight from the U.S. to Hong Kong that he has a revolver in his possession. So when he gets off the plane, he goes to authorities and he says, I didn't realize I had this. Well, they arrested him, even though he's saying it was an honest mistake. He came to them preemptively. And now he's facing, this is punishable by up to 14 years in prison in Hong Kong. 14 years in prison. Now, hopefully, and the senator had put out a statement on his website basically saying he hopes it's resolved quickly, that this is a misunderstanding. So hopefully that bodes well for him that, hey, he proactively came forward, turned the gun in, but he didn't have, it's a licensed gun in the United States, but he didn't have a permission to carry it in Hong Kong or to bring it into Hong Kong. But up to 14 years in prison, mm-hmm. I'm really hoping that that's not the case of let's throw the book at some American politician to make a point. But moment. I will just say of Senator Wilson, he has always been mm-hmm. so kind and supportive of me and of the show. I've got an opportunity to meet him and speak with him several times. So my heart really breaks for him and his family. Can you imagine being in that situation? Shouldn't have brought a gun with you. You should have been more careful. But also, 14 years, that's crazy.
Also, Portland TSA, that's scary.
That they didn't catch it.
They didn't catch it.
Yeah.
And it made it all the way onto a plane.
Well, see, I don't know if, and I don't know if this has been determined, was it in his carry-on or his check bag? Because in the check bag,
I believe it was in his briefcase. I think they said that he was reaching for gun in his briefcase. I wouldn't think that you would check a briefcase, but he was reaching for gum and grabbed his gun and realized what had happened. But he was on the plane, so it had already made it through TSA.
Yeah, well, that is
Oregon.
A little concerning. So mm-hmm. I don't know the full details of that. We'd have to kind of look into that because if it's in his checked, there's also some reporting out of Hong Kong where I'm like, I don't know how accurate this is.
You wouldn't have discovered on the flight.
But now it's been picked up by U.S. media. But just wild. And so I'm certainly thinking about the state senator and his family because it seems like he did what he needed to do, turned himself in, didn't try to hide it from them. Honest mistake, bad mistake, but honest mistake. So we'll follow that up. But I just had to let you guys know about that. That is just a wild, wild story.